You've been lied to about history. Two groups, separated by oceans, continents, and cultures, somehow share an ancient, mind-blowing secret. The Romani people, often called Gypsies, and Native American tribes, especially those in North America, have a hidden link that no one talks about. What if I told you that their languages, traditions, and even their spiritual beliefs share eerie similarities? And what if the real reason behind this connection has been deliberately erased from history? Stick around because this might change the way you see the past forever. Most people assume that the Romani people and Native Americans have nothing in common. One comes from Europe, the other from the Americas. But history is never that simple. There are strange coincidences, shared struggles, and even direct interactions between these two groups that mainstream history books completely ignore. Were they connected through ancient migrations? Did they share a lost cultural exchange? Or is there something even deeper, something that was never meant to be discovered? Today we're breaking down the barriers of history to expose the truth. Both the Romani people and Native Americans have been misunderstood, stereotyped, and frankly, erased from many historical narratives. The mainstream version of history tends to keep cultures in neat little boxes, but reality is messy. For centuries, both groups have been seen as outsiders, mysterious, persecuted, and forced to adapt in hostile environments. But what if these groups weren't just similar in their struggles? What if they were actually linked in ways historians have overlooked? Let's dig into the facts and uncover the shocking truth. Certain words and phrases between Romani dialects and indigenous languages have striking similarities. Some linguistic researchers have pointed out phonetic overlaps that hint at deeper, ancient connections. Were there pre-Columbian links between Old World and New World languages? Cultural parallels in music and dance. Both groups rely heavily on storytelling through music and movement. Native American powwow dances and Romani flamenco-style dances share rhythmic and improvisational similarities. Could these art forms have influenced each other? Both groups believe in spirits, omens, and a deep connection to nature. The Romani Drabarni traditional healers and Native American shamans serve almost identical roles. Did these beliefs develop separately, or was there an ancient exchange of ideas? Forced migrations and persecution. Both groups have been victims of forced displacement throughout history. Romani people were enslaved in Europe for centuries. Native Americans were forcibly relocated during events like the Trail of Tears. Their shared history of survival might be more connected than we think. Historical records show that Romani groups arrived in the Americas as early as the 16th century. There are documented cases of intermarriage and cultural exchanges between Romani travelers and indigenous tribes. Could these encounters have led to the blending of traditions and ideas? The biggest bombshell? Genetic studies and migration theories suggest that the Romani people's original ancestors came from northern India over 1,000 years ago. And guess what? Some indigenous groups in North America have distant genetic links that trace back to ancient Asia. Could there have been forgotten waves of migration that history refuses to acknowledge? Could early Romani travelers have made contact with Native Americans long before European colonizers officially discovered the New World? The idea that Romani and Native American cultures share a hidden past isn't just speculation. It's supported by linguistic clues, cultural parallels, and even historical records. But mainstream history often ignores anything that doesn't fit the traditional narrative. Maybe it's time to rethink what we know about global migrations, ancient connections, and the stories that history books don't tell us. If this blew your mind, hit subscribe and check out our next deep dive.